In 2007, the Board of County Commissioners issued a resolution recognizing the eastern part of Seminole County as a rural heritage area, quote, with past, present, and future significance. So what is rural heritage? It is agriculture and ranches, some of which have been in the same family for over 100 years. It is seeing bald eagles, wild turkeys, and flocks of sandhill cranes while out on a morning walk. It is having over 30 Indian middens and mounds in the area dating back to 500 BC. It is over 12 active churches, 2 of which are over 130 years old. It is the original black settlers in the area, Charlie and Louise Stewart, who at one time owned most of what is now downtown Geneva, and whose great-granddaughter, Altamise Stewart Mackenzie, still sleeps in the same bedroom in which she was born in their family home, which is over 100 years old. It is A-rated, 5-star Geneva and Walker Elementary Schools, reminiscent of an original school taught by a Russian immigrant in Geneva who trained more teachers in Central Florida at that time than any other school. It is Fort Lane Park, a military fort during the Second Seminole Indian War, preserved for present and future generations by the Geneva Historical Society. It is 97 historic structures and sites that are in the Florida Master Site File, 24 of which could be on the National Historic Register. It is a state forest, 5 wilderness areas protected under the Natural Lands Program, 2 county parks, and a county canoe launch within the area. And it is a simple rural atmosphere, like a sign at the Geneva Elementary School that states, "No bicycles, skateboards, or horses on sidewalks." It is the annual trek of 4th graders down First Street to the Geneva Museum to experience their first exposure to Central Florida history. It is a weekly trek of bicyclers from all over Central Florida enjoying our rural scenery and laid-back lifestyle. It is a spring May Day picnic that has been held annually since the early 1900s. It is a 4th of July parade and festival like none other in Central Florida. And it is a fall pumpkin patch. And a monthly gathering of musicians at a bluegrass, country, and gospel jam, reminiscent of the fiddle dances held in the same WPA building built community center over 85 years ago. And Rural Heritage is a marching band that assembles each year with players from all over Central Florida that plays for the community, as did the East Seminole Marching Band of the 1930s. And it is a citizens association dedicated to the preservation of our rural lifestyle. It is the Geneva Historical Society that has preserved the history of the area for over a half-century, with a museum displaying over 2,000 artifacts reflecting our rural past. It is a homemakers group with over 70 members from Geneva, Chuliota, Oviedo, etc., that has existed over 80 years. It is 4-H and Scout groups that have been supported in the rural area since the first half of the last century. It is a monthly edition of the Geneva Email News and the Chuliota Community website that keep everyone informed of what is happening. It is an annual history bus tour that fills up fast with folks anxious to learn more about the history of our area. It is an annual community yard and craft sale that brings people together to share their treasures and have a good time. But mostly, rural heritage is the people who live in and love rural Seminole County and give of themselves to do anything to preserve that rural heritage for future generations. It is friends and neighbors always willing to offer a hand, whether it be hurricane or tornado cleanup, delivering Meals on Wheels, or running weekly food pantries in hard times. It is people who are willing to work hard to establish a rural heritage center and at the same time preserve a 1924 historic school as its home. And the many instructors willing to give of themselves to preserve and teach the rural skills that give pleasure to life. It is people in Seminole County government willing to keep their promise to preserve the rural area for future generations. And at a time when rural land is disappearing to development and our waters are being used up and polluted, it is people that will regularly go to bat to protect our rural area, to protect the rural lifestyle of our homes in Black Hammock, Chuleota, and Geneva. So I guess rural heritage is having a place wonderful enough to want to raise your children in or to grow old in, with a vibrant past, a very dedicated present, and hopefully a wonderful rural future.